Tommie Lee recently came to light with some shocking allegations against Tamar's partner, Jeremy. She says he set her and Tamar up against one another, causing major tension between them. But it doesn't end there. Tommie also claims that Jeremy has been physically violent to Tamar and her, and the situation is becoming worse. Here, we are discussing some really serious claims, not your average drama.
Drunk right now. I wish I was drunk because that I'm about to post your shit, JR. I'm about to post your white. I tried to just let you eat my for the motherfucking slaves, for the slaves. This how I ain't calling me a I did it for us. I don't pink. You got me up.
If you've been following the story, you know that Tamar and Tommy have never really been pals, with whom they have a long history, unpleasant conversations, and lots of shadows hurled back and forth. Yet it appears as though things had flipped around. Jeremy possesses caused such a commotion in the saucepan that Tamar and Tommy is setting aside their disagreements and reuniting to oppose him. The notion of these two merging was once unimaginable, yet now it's reality in an odd role as the catalyst, Jeremy, for this alliance. What hence caused this unexpected cooperation? How did Tamar manage to, and Tommy, who were incompatible, resolve to work together to combat a shared hold on tight? As we're about to go into the causes of this awkward circumstance, Tommy and Tamar have long-standing rivalry, a long time with lots of shadows shared throughout the years between them. What began with little taunts and developed into something far more intimate and personal. The pivotal episodes of their feud occurred last year during a performance when Tommy took advantage of the chance to hurl shadow at Tamar. When Tamar was acting, pandemonium broke out, and Tommy swiftly charged her with using the opportunity to draw interest. Tamar had no desire to retreating and clapping back angrily, branding Tommy as a social media failure and advising her to be silent in an especially harsh reaction. Tamar even compared herself in a vicious way to a puppet response, indicating that Tommy couldn't even empty a bag of blow pops to allow alone match her degree of achievement. It was clear that there was no lack of affection in between these two.
Yes. When he went after her, then she came out with a comment, of course. Yeah. But I haven't, between you and I talked to Tamar, and
his favorite words, between you and I.
When I said I didn't want to be with her.
Oh.
She's been trying to get with me ever since.
Oh!
She's been trying to get with me every day since.
Come on. Bitch, please. You know what I'm gonna do to you, boy. Sit on your head.
We did.
Silly me. I should have just recorded. I should have recorded his head in my. I should have recorded that, but I try to keep them on.
Jeremy ended up hooking up with Tamar after their split, which led to this complicated web with Tommy, which is when the drama began right away. Tommy sensed she had the advantage by believing Jeremy possessed past beyond Tamar and concentrated. She spent all of her time with her, shoving that in Tamar's direction. But not too did Tommy realize Jeremy was still playing. She even had the receipts for both sides. To support it, she sent texts demonstrating that his first goal was to bring her along to a basketball match. When Tommy refused, he invited Tamar right away. Nevertheless, it was evident that he was attempting to maintain contact with both ladies by utilizing each to make the other. Tommy, envious, revealed that she was his first option, but Jeremy was focused only on that nice guy exterior, attempt to appear as constructive and spiritual. Tommy wasn't seeing that. She confronted him, demonstrating that, in the meantime, she was aware of his games. Tamar didn't just watch helplessly after splitting with Jeremy. She took a public campaign to regain his trust, and when she did, showing off their reconciliation. Perhaps aiming to make Tommy seem bad in the procedure, she seized any chance to brag that she got her boyfriend back by shading Tommy and behaving as though she had won this conflict. But Tamar was unaware of the reality that Jeremy was continuing to portray her behind the scenes. Tommy would not be silent, and she soon returned fire with some forceful retorts. Revealing Jeremy's duplicity, she disclosed that he had been using foul language toward her, dispensing a variety of sensitive information that were supposed to rip, diminishing Tamar's standing in an especially repulsive turn. Tommy said that Tamar had told Jeremy to eject it and was residing with her mother. In Tommy's opinion, Jeremy succeeded, Seemed as though Tamar's triumphant tour was only to demonstrate that she wasn't accomplishing what she represented as well. Revelation did nothing but fan the flames, even more humiliating Tamar. But Tommie wasn't completed, she kept spilling further tea regarding her exchanges with Jeremy, creating the circumstance messier, and she even boasted about every single detail, slipping the booty into Jeremy's mouth like supermarkets, demonstrating that she wasn't recognizing him as serious despite his efforts to act out the drama. For her were arriving at new heights when it became evident that this triangle of love was not what it seemed. Simply those who exhibit severe warning signs getting hitched was undoubtedly something to observe. But what caught us off guard was thought it would get so unkempt so fast. One with his infant and used social media to disclose that Junior was only utilizing Tamar, seeking influence and attention, noting that he possessed an odd fondness for black women and has a past of taking advantage of them, especially vulnerable ladies like Tamar. He's over black women, she remarked. So much that he frequently calls himself light-skinned, self-tagging white. Talk. The minority that is part of the minority would nearly always show up to the CL club wishing for attractive black women, and upon returning home, she said that he was incredibly haughty and conceited, sexist and demeaning with insensitivity, mentioning that he says he is an ally of the populace as well as a black guardian, ladies, but his behavior suggests otherwise. She also said that he was a colonization that satisfies his biracial needs, infants to bolster his ego, and the desire to fit in with the group of people, the black community. This is a little strange, steamy mess. And admirers began pleading with Tamar to run. Tamar ran because Junior was worse than we had anticipated, but Tamar naturally did not listen, which is not unexpected, as you are all aware that Tamar doesn't do you guys listen to her until she requests to. Recall that I mentioned he has 4 children, mothers who would undoubtedly cause some drama for Tamar. Well, that happened quickly. In order for the kettle to begin boiling, the problems arose when Tamar was unable to halt raving about her love for Jeremy and his children, and you sensed that there was about to descend. She declared, "It's my birthday, but I must share the person who gives this teasy smile on my face. It took me a long time to discover this good old-fashioned love is the sort that I required and desired. There are 6 between the 2 of us kids, and they mean the world to me. Therefore, I'm missing you. And thank God, he has 4 baby mothers for them at this point." Tamar's continued, and about his children, you believe that they live as a single large content family in perfect harmony. But that wasn't even close to the reality, because one of Jeremy's baby M was not present when Tamar spoke about her. Children enjoy that, I'm sure of it. Sparked a lot of commotion. But baby mama written, let me be transparent for everyone who know this woman is familiar to those of us who know them. In no way a bonus or stepmom to my son. She does not value my son above anything else. And she has not given God thanks on my behalf. To be honest, baby Mass doesn't have any of it. Stated insensitive, insulting, and absurd things for which she hasn't tried to come see me learn about me as a lady or mother, and has led to the father of my son overlook birthdays and weekends of visiting now. To his merit, Jeremy made an attempt to defend Tamar because he penned Tamar Braxton has consistently been amazing. Mother and show my kids so much love. Occasionally, a disagreement with no discussion, declare a miscommunication starts an unfavorable loop. I like everyone to live in harmony and would my utmost to encourage that. Yet despite everything, there was a ton of baby in that motherly turmoil, and what's best for her would have been to stay away from each of these partnerships. But she cherished her partner, and she remained at his side since she desired to stay with him at all times, even when he repeatedly made fun of her. Can you, even for no purpose at all, see your sister as the one who is Tommie Braxton alone? And yet coping with guys like these make me feel ashamed and frantic. But if you believe that it couldn't get much worse, but it most certainly done so as a result of Junior waking up one day and said to everyone that he and Tamar had further split up, ensured that it was evident that he was not the other way around. the one who dumped her. He said that Tamar and I are no longer. I ended the relationship after we were together for a longer period of time, should concentrate on returning to a positive vitality and improving oneself. What occurred. And the reason is our personal place. No, I never cheated. I never cared regarding fame. I have consistently stood in for celebrities. And the reality is that I was in a fantastic location, both financially, and I mentally declined to accept Queen Court. Few times until I finally gave up. In the end, I fell in love, but it didn't conclude as I had hoped. Therefore, I wish to recover. I will always be friends with Tamar and lifelong family. But you know, things become even worse. Tamar discovered what was going on about the split on social media platforms like the remainder of us. Since Junior didn't having the grace to end their relationship with either in person or even by text, he also ended things with her in the same hour that car and house were vandalized. She composed, "Consider getting robbed of your house and relocating to searching for your new tribe in a new city. Never succeed in figuring out how to fit in, and then at last settling down with the minimum of someone you can trust to enter your vehicle vandalized, robbed, and then split up from the individual you cherish. And since having everyone in the same hour is also safe." Much she talked about the split and created a video in which she essentially disputed that the split was due to her, noting that she had been working on becoming an improved individual.
Really grateful. I have done a lot to work on my mental health and change who I used to be into who I am now. And I can't help if people fall into that perception because it's easy. And I get it, you know, but I won't let anybody hold me captive to my past and things that I have.
When Junior realized that people weren't on his side, he tried to manipulate the situation and tried to act like he was being supportive. And he even went as far as to try to promote her tour last year. He said, "Dallas, get ready for the one and only Tamar Braxton, sending love and light." Thank you, Tamar, for being super supportive during an incredibly difficult time. You are not a negative and horrible person. You are a blessing to the world. And I have always been nothing short of supporting and uplifting. Now, I get that he didn't say anything all right shady, but fans couldn't help but side-eyed this so-called compliment. It felt like he was throwing some type of sneaky shade still. Especially when he said she's not negative and horrible like you. Did you have to say that? But people were already over the drama and not even talking about it anymore. So while bring it up, it's given trying to stay relevant and sneak diss vibes. Well, Tamar threw some shade right back and said, "I can't believe I'm going on my love and war tour. So broken. People do things on purpose just to see you hurt. Misleading is abuse and a pattern. I'm so stupid. After so much hurt, at some point you have to get the strength to close the chapter. What a fool I was." Now you think that she would have moved on, taking her O in silence and put that whole Junior mess behind her, right? Well, no, not Tamar. She acted like a total bird and went back to him, even though it was clear as day that he was trying to manipulate her. See, only a few days after the breakup, Junior was found stepping out with Tommie Lee, who is known to have beef with Tamar. The timing of these events was definitely suspect. Just days before Tamar and Junior were seen together. And remember the brawl Tamar got into at her concert? Well, Tommie, who was involved in that incident, came forward with accusations of his own, claiming Tamar was using Chan for clout. So when Tommie was spotted with Junior at a game, it was clear they were both conspiring to get under Tamar's skin, and it worked perfectly. The next thing we knew, Tamar and Junior were back together and spotted at a football game. Seriously, what kind of high school drama is? Tamar's decision to reunite with Junior seemed like a deliberate message to Tommie, don't mess with her, man. But the move didn't sit well with many. Tamar had been vocal about Junior's poor treatment of her and even accused him of conspiring with her enemies. Let's not forget Junior's baby mama, who claimed he had a habit of playing games with black women, pitting them against each other. It was as if Junior was orchestrating his own drama squad, using Tommie and Tamar for his amusement. Whether Tamar didn't see through the manipulation or simply didn't care, she probably believed that taking Junior back would be a way to spite Tommie. Instead, Tommie threw Tamar under the bus, revealing that Tamar was clearly back in the middle of the mess. Tommie even leaked Screenshots showing that Junior had invited her to the game before Tamar, only turning to Tamar when Tommie couldn't make it. But Tamar seemed unfazed at her concert. She proudly announced that she and Junior were back together, adding another twist to this ongoing drama.
That's why I had to go get my man back, y'all. And I know y'all lying. If y'all thought I was gonna let my man go because he took some crackhead to a basketball game, while we was broke up.
Naturally, it infuriated Tommie, and she went live to read Tamar for filth, asserting that Junior had eaten her groceries, if it makes sense. Furthermore, she disclosed that Junior had been educating her kid about Tamar's circumstances. Junior and Tamar are so crazy. It's dealing with a relationship is one thing, crumbling apart, but for your partner to pour tea on you, that's another story. Level Tamar ought to have called it quits with Junior as soon as the drama began. Yet, if there's one lesson we've discovered, it's that Tamar appears to be nearly dependent on having a man by her side. Instead of severing connections with Junior, Tamar entered the very opposite way that she wedded him. The twist, she kept it a concealed, maybe aware that a public marriage would have sparked immediate craze and unrelenting criticism. And it goes beyond supporters who disagree with this union. Even Tamar's own family opposes it. According to reports, Toni Braxton has been very audible alert Tamar that Tamar is faithful to Junior, but the terrible news forum appears to follow her own recommendations alone. In their most recent reality TV season, demonstrate how the Braxton family handles their sister Tracy's death and how they're handling the subject during the show of Tamar and her subsequent spouse emerged, and it was evident that each member of her family did not support the partnership. And this made Tamar so unhappy that she vented on Twitter about her relatives hauled them for what filth revealed to be disliking her idyllic life with Prince Charming. She wrote, "You have no, the concept of gaslighting is absurd because I'm going back into therapy. Oh my God, I want God to preserve my marriage and my family is terrible. Therefore, I can spare my life. I love Junior so much. Thank you, God bless him, my spouse and my kids. Has prevented my death. Yeah, I'm furious with my family is poisonous. Therefore, I should have never returned to BFWV. Never mind. I'm enduring it. I'm depressed and unmarried, and she is mostly opting to watch these TV things. Marries Junior following the public shame is undoubtedly a fascinating option, but she's mature and able to be married. She accuses everyone she wants to as well. Supporters of discrediting her relationship expression, I believe that it's odd that whenever I post something unfavorable, becomes widely shared. Once I upload anything positive, everyone ignores you. Show me that what you all desire for me is correct. Why you all, can't I be well and healed? Was anticipating the disintegration of my existence. Jeremy has consistently been the most upbeat each other, as well as my closest buddy, and you all want me to say, family, anything really awful about him. But as per an insider, Tamar is only being stubborn and unwilling to acknowledge that in reality, the relationship is over. It is said that Jun has been unfaithful to her in every manner possible with each lady who gives him the finger, and he shows no remorse. First, Tamar was willing to talk about it, ignore it since she was unwilling to acknowledge her failure. But Junior was completed with her after their breakup her a few weeks prior, which clarifies her losing it over followers on social media. Remarked, Tamar must get away from that man. Stop traveling back and forth and be alone forever. She's humiliated by that man. Enough. I don't want her to do better. To hear about her colonizer again, her the reason our forebears fought for freedom, her to flirt with the guy back and forth. Tamar Braxton is just an ordinary foolish bird. She must go away from that man and look for genuine assistance. Around 50 and still performing like a toddler, arguing with D and tossing putting your family under the bus. After a loss, a sister of mine is mentally ill, and I believe Tamar is troubled by a number of things. These guys are cloud chasers, and in a similar poisonous, I'm shocked at how many individuals are supporting the guy who has 5 baby mothers who actually didn't accomplish anything on the demonstrate that he was a decent man. You guys, Tamar, since this is a weird circumstance, a jumble, but I must understand what are your thoughts on this, folks? If Tamar doesn't get better soon, will she ever to return to that call and have AR remove your ideas and remarks underneath, followed by watch the following video.